We're trying to find j prime of 1. So even with no other information, just knowing that j of x is equal to g of x over f of x, I can use that to calculate what j prime of x is with quotient rule. So I'm going to have j prime of x is equal to g prime of x f of x minus g of x f prime of x all over f of x squared. And so if I want to evaluate j prime of 1, that will be g prime of 1 times f of 1 minus g of 1 times f prime of 1 all over f of 1 quantity squared. The question is, can I figure out what goes in these places? Can I figure out what f of 1 is, what g of 1 is, what f prime of 1 is, and what g prime of 1 is with the information that I have? So what do I have? Well, I have the graph of this function. So first, can I figure out what f of 1 is? F of 1 comes right here. So f of 1 is the height on the f of x in black. So f of 1 looks like it's about 1.5. And g of 1 is also in this case, it turns out in my graph that g of 1 is also 1.5. Now what is f prime of 1? F prime of 1 is the slope of f at x equals 1. So if I look at this slope of this curve, the black curve has a slope of, I don't know offhand, I have to calculate it. So the slope starts at, this curve starts at 0, 0, and this attains a height of at 2, 3. So the slope is 3 over 2. And in this case, that's actually what I'm looking for. So the slope f prime of 1 would again be 1 point. Finally, what's g prime of 1? Well, g prime of 1 is again the slope at g of x at x equals 1. So in this case, the slope here is the same as the slope of this whole line because it's a linear function. So g prime of 1 would be equal to, looks like this decreases by 2 in y over change in x of 4. So these are the pieces I would need, and I would plug these pieces in to the quotient rule pattern that I had. Two problems are going to be similar, but there is something that you need to note about f prime of 2. So when I look at x equals 2, see that there's a sharp corner. If I think about, could I draw a tangent line? I really can't. If I drew it from this side, it would look like that. But if I drew it from the other side, it would look like that. There's no coherent tangent line. So I would have f prime of 2 does not exist. And as a result, when I go to plug it into another calculation, I can't use it. I have j prime of 2 does not exist.